Hi everyone. It's been a beautiful, sprinkly spring day here. Cloudy all day and sprinkling on and off. And now the sun is starting to lift, so I wanted to see what messages we could gain from this liminal space. Let's get started. All right. So, what card most represents the collective at this time? What card most represents the collective at this time, Spirit? Oh, you're going to be doing some soul searching, or you already are doing some soul searching. The Eight of Cups, like these cups right here, they would be perfectly fine for anybody else, like they're fine. Like they're cups, whatever. But for this person, they're walking away because it's not enough for them. What they want is something different. And they're going to find it by a journey of self discovery, by going up the mountain to where, to become the hermit. And, and it has an eclipse on it, the only card with an eclipse on it, and it represents, unexpected changes. So this is basically a card of somebody that's on a spiritual journey or doing some soul searching. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Oh, this came in reverse. You've recently come out of a tower situation. You have had big unexpected changes, and like you're not sure uh, where to go next. That was just coming out intuitively. You may have a mentor, or even be thinking about teaching something. Um, well, it could have been the tower could have been a moment where you expected to be. This is what I'm getting on this traditional journey. Like you had plans for this, A, B, C, and D, and to go in this traditional way. But the plans have been changed now. Something has upset the situation, and like it can no longer go back to these traditional rules and boundaries. And that's why you're on the search for something more, something that will be more fulfilling to your heart. It could be. I'm getting a lot that people are leaving behind job situations because their morals are no longer aligned with certain professions and the inner workings of a business, or even just the people, or something about that. Let's keep moving and see what else pops out. Spirit, what do you want to tell me about this situation? What does the collective need to know? Page of Cups. Knight of Swords. So you got the Page of Cups and the Lovers. Like, something, it wasn't the right fit. It wasn't the right fit in this situation. Um, if this is like a love relationship, which it very well could be, it was not working out. Um, it could be that your suitor lacked the depth and emotional intelligence than you were looking for, and you tried to communicate this, with this person, that this situation was not like working. Like you're the Magician in reverse. It feels like you tried everything you could. You had like, you put everything you could at the problem, but it just wasn't resolving. Um, I was hoping this was going to be a more uplifting reading. So wild. I guess there's a lot of change in the air with Aries in zero, like reset mode, and there could have been a lot of fallout from like all of the fiery energy that was happening this month. So it seems like you've tried everything to, but this person just, they lack the depth to be able to meet you where you were at, right? Um, and so, like, as much as you tried, it was, you weren't able to transform the situation. So now you have Knight of Cups in reverse. You know, and the Hanged Man in reverse. It's like you just need to take some time to get the perspective on this. It's weighing heavy on your heart. But when you get the perspective on this, I think you're going to realize that this is necessary change for where you're going. It could have been something that was a long time coming, even though it felt like sudden. This came in reverse. It was like something that was inevitable that you knew was coming, is what I'm feeling. So it's taken like, so you're like, um, you've taken your heart away, like, you've had to become unemotional about the matter to like preserve yourself here, save yourself. All right. Yeah. Because you just like you need more peace. Like this is the beginning of your peace and feeling peace and like having your own autonomy for some of you, or like going in a direction like you may have felt held back due to like confines of a traditional marriage or something like that even. um, yeah, your heart just wasn't in it, and like you couldn't keep being the martyr. All right, so what's next? Do you want to? Uh, you know, sorry. It's like you feel grief for the situation, but like you guys were like fire and water, um, and I think you're the swords. Like you're confident, intelligent, smart, good communicator, but you like can't be deceived, and you're gonna cut people off, and you know your worth. And then this person is sort of like more happy-go-lucky, come what may. They're really like boisterous, and so it's fire and water. You know, uh, I mean fire and air in which fire and air actually becomes bigger fire, right? So you may have just like not been kind of triggering each other and stuff like that. So this is a necessary ending, and it's hard, and it's hard for both parties. Like you feel heartbreak for yourself, you feel bad for them, but it's like you can't save somebody. Like people have to do the effort for themselves. Anything else about this King of Wands? What about this King of Wands and Queen of Swords? Spirit? Ten of Pentacles. This was a big loss. Like you didn't want to like break up the happy home. Like it was just you guys had built a very comfortable life together, and so you may have like uh, hung on, trying to make it work. You know, dragged it on a bit, but come Aries season, boom. This hasn't happened yet. Um, you may see some changes. Like, yeah, you needed to put down this burden of what's been weighing on your mind about this situation, and like, telling this person that like you need more, you need more emotional fulfillment from a relationship. You weren't being emotionally fulfilled spiritually. And you're walking away. But it's time. Like you've been carrying the emotional load for the two of you here. This is your partner is showing up as a Page of Cups, and it represents like an immaturity and a lack of depth with the Lovers in reverse. Ooh-wee. Well, I'm so sorry you're going through it. So what is what like This is a karmic relationship, and like, if you were good in the relationship, you'll have good things coming back to you, even if it doesn't come from this particular relationship. Just know that like you were fair, um, or it was just a karmic relationship. If it was a divorce and there's like a legal proceeding that may come, maybe a little difficult, but ultimately you will survive and you will come out on top and land like the cat that you are, self-sufficient and abundant. You make safe decisions, you're practical. Um, you're not, you know, the situation isn't going to affect your stability because everything is like equal and fair. I mean, like, don't take on too much of the emotional burden of this. It's not all on you. Like, you may be the one to have, like, opened up the dialogue and, like, were the one to get fed up in this first, but don't take on all the emotional responsibility. And if this is a court case of divorce, just, like, make sure that, um, I mean, there could be some, like, unfair place, so make sure all that you have a good lawyer, the documents are good. Same thing, like, yeah, it's just, it's like, it's gonna be rough no matter what. That's a part about taking on too much, like, there's a competition, nobody gets hurt, you stop before anybody gets hurt. Um, it's not the best card for the end of this reading. I was hoping for something better. Yeah, it's like, take your losses. Just take the losses. You're gonna be fine. Right? Take the losses, you'll be fine. And you're gonna start new and fresh. Collective. If you're going through this, I'm really sorry. But at least, I mean, I feel like you cut your losses now before somebody gets hurt, and there you go. If you like this content, subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, click like for more. Thanks. Bye.